What is Nick Saban's philosophy going to be in 2023 for the Alabama Crimson Tide? Because remember, there will be not one, but two new coordinators on staff. And the Alabama Crimson Tide faithful, I understand you're not disappointed about that. You got Kevin Steele calling the defense. You got Tommy Rees calling the offense. So I once again beg the question, what will this offense and this defense, just overall Nick Saban's philosophy, what's it going to be? Because anytime you make an overhaul change, and I say you make a change in the sense that I understand that Pete Golding went for Ole Miss, I understand that Bill O'Brien took a job in the NFL, but still, you have two new coordinators. The philosophy will be different for Saban. And here's my best assessment of this. Anytime you reach results that you're not crazy about, like at Alabama, you expect national titles. You expect SEC titles, both of which were not achieved a season ago. Still won a New Year's Six Bowl. Still a lot of teams that would give their left arm and their entire special teams unit for what Alabama got last year. But anytime you get results you're not happy about, what do? You get back to what works. You get back to what you know. You get back to being your identity. And I think for Nick Saban, that's the best way I would assess what's going to happen in 2023. Bully ball is back on offense, y'all. You know what I'm talking about. That we are going to put our big human beings in front of your big human beings and move them against their will. We're going to run the football until you say uncle or you try and stop it. Then we'll go over the top to our guys. Like I said, they've done this before. They're going back to it. You don't believe me? 2017, Alabama wins a national title. Ran the ball 43 times a game. 43 times a game. In comparison, a season ago, they ran the ball just 34 times a game. Now, some of that is you have Bryce Young at quarterback. I get that. In 2020, you have a Heisman-winning wide receiver in Devontae Smith. You have a Heisman finalist quarterback in Mac Jones. So the pass game's working just fine. They still ran the ball more than they did last year under Bill O'Brien. 37 times a game did they run the football in 2020. And guess what? That ended with a national title as well. Tommy Rees, the new OC, what'd they do at Notre Dame last year? Context is everything, right? So we got to at least mention they played the majority of the year with a backup quarterback. But they played last year a lot how I expect Alabama to play this coming year. Notre Dame did, I should say. Ran the ball 41 times a game. They're going to run the football in Tuscaloosa this coming year. Like, I know you had Bryce Young, and you got to let him cook. I understand that. But I think with a new quarterback and with Nick Saban kind of seeing what other programs are doing across the country, whether it be Georgia, whether it be Michigan, you're seeing the success of bully ball. Nick Saban saying, all right, that's my kind of ball now. We're going to line it up. We're going to be physical. Bully ball. Back in style in Tuscaloosa. I 1,000% believe that, and I think you're going to see the benefits of that. It's an attitude thing. It's an edge thing. It's a discipline thing. It lets your best players impact the game up front. In Alabama, some of the best players in the country, you want to look at the recruiting rankings. Alabama hasn't finished outside the top 2, it feels like, since the dark ages. Since dinosaurs roamed the earth. That's the last time Nick Saban wasn't recruiting at a top 2 class kind of level. More thoughts on this, but if you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love to have you a part of this whole operation. We go live twice a week, actually tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Come lock in with us. We're live. We have a real good time getting the live chat. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you know when that's going on. Also, follow me on the social channels. That's right, on Twitter and Instagram at JD Pickell. Would love to hear from y'all there, contribute to the conversation. But like I said, college football content every single day right here. Alabama getting back to what works, getting back to who they have been in the past. And it felt like at times last season defensively, players just weren't in position schematically to make plays. There were guys that just felt like they weren't in position to be successful. Enter into the fray, Kevin Steele, the new defensive coordinator. Schematically, from a verbiage standpoint, you're going to hear Bama still runs that 4-2-5 defense, which means 5 defensive backs on the field, 2 linebackers, 4 down linemen. Okay, so a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism on the field to match up with those spread offenses. But here's just my feel around how I think this will look. based on what we know about Kevin Steele, what we've seen him do over the course of his career, I just believe that the secondary, the shell, if you will, of this defense, those 5 DBs, I think there will be more integrity. I think there's going to be more just, we're going to keep it in front of us. We're not going to get too aggressive in terms of what our secondary does. We'll feel aggressive for sure. We'll have our safeties come play and run support, but we're not going to be super complex with how we dial up our safety blitz or our corner blitz. We got some of the best athletes in the country on this defense. Referring back to those recruiting classes, we got some dudes on this team. We're going to let them play. We're going to let them be instinctual. And there were times last year, like I said, I look at the Tennessee tape, I look at the LSU tape, and it just felt like Alabama was pressing a little bit on defense. Not from a technical standpoint, but from a legitimately, you had guys dialing up blitzes and ending up out of position. To me, simplicity is the key for Alabama's defense going forward, and I think Kevin Steele will, from an approach standpoint, apply that. You don't got to get creative when you have a filet mignon steak with how you make it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a bunch of spices on that. I don't need you to grab the cumin, paprika, this special butter that's been aged for however long. I just need you to give me a steak, brother. I just need you to take that phenomenal USDA-approved sirloin beef that you have recruited to the nth degree and you have developed to the nth degree, just serve it up. It's going to be better than 99% of the teams you play. All right, it's going to be good enough if you allow those players just to be in position to succeed. Let's not be overly complex. Let's not use too many spices. Just let 5 stars be 5 stars. That doesn't mean you don't coach them up. It doesn't mean you don't develop them. It doesn't mean you just go total laissez-faire and keep your hands off. No. You coach, you press, you push into the Saban way of doing things, and Bama's going to be Bama. I truly believe that once again in 2023. So the philosophy, to put a summary to it, they're getting back to their old ways. All right? Like the great rapper Drizzy Drake says, I was a cold dude, I'm getting back to my ways. That's Nick Saban, 1,000,000% going into the 2023 season. And it's going to be bad news for the rest of the college football landscape. Keep it locked right here. Again, we are live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. We got college football content for you every single day. Make sure you're subscribed. Shout out to all the Bama faithful that have joined us so far in the last few months. If you haven't yet joined, no time like the present. All right, Nick, Break, Lift, and Heavy, this is your show. I'll see you on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Pakel. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.